All right, here we are. We are back for our 4 o'clock interview. I did it again.
Yep.
Last I told me it was at 5, it's at 4. This whole time change thing just got me going.
It's all right.
Welcome back to the Secret Life of Mold podcast, our live edition on Facebook. We're live here at the beautiful Sonesta Hotel in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Brandon Apple's here.
Glad to be here.
And why don't you introduce our first?
For sure. I'm really excited to introduce this guy. He goes by the name of Joel Heiblum. He's the owner-operator of Mr. Mold. Why don't you introduce yourself, tell us just a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get going from there.
First and foremost, thank you so much for having me on the show. And it's just, I'm so excited right now. I just see what's happening here. My name is Joel Heiblum. The name of my company is Mr. Mold Inc. And we are now rebranding since obviously mold is only 7 to 10% of the problem. I was going to call myself Mr. Aikino, so.
Nobody will know what you're talking about here.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's Googling. Who's going to go straight down? Crash and burn.
Yeah.
So medically sound remediation was something that I developed a passion. I want to say I've been in business since 2011, but about 6 years ago, I saw that there was a lot of suffering taking place, and I started working my way, trying to become a voice, creating the awareness. For so many years on social media, trying to get the message out there.
Yeah.
One of the things that I noticed was that I started to become the actual voice. It's like the Mr. Mold character became like that superhero that, I'm not this hypochondriac that my husband keeps telling me I am. And, people started to relate to the fact that they had somebody that was, just a mold guy representing them. And that really started to create this passion in me. So I started to call doctors and try to get them information. Long story short, I worked up the ladder and got straight to Shoemaker. And when Dr. Shoemaker and I first met, it was almost like instant chemistry.
Yeah.
He saw the passion in me, and at the beginning it was a little tough because he says, how do I know you're not going to be like the rest of them throughout the years that call themselves experts and that want to do good. So what I did was I started to fly him down to Miami, and I would put him in hotels as nice as this, with all the bells and whistles, just like this, and then I would get doctors, and I had a team that I put together, like pharma reps, but instead of pushing drugs, we were pushing data.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
So it was just like in their face, all the articles that would come out, and I would see them on the listserv, and they're like, not to be published yet. So I would hold on to them, and the minute that they were published, then I would have a team of pharma reps going to the doctor's office and pushing that data. And little by little, I started to put plant seeds all over the community when it comes to doctors. It was like pushing spaghetti uphill, like in the very beginning.
That's difficult.
A mold guy coming to God's gift on earth when it comes to life. It was tough. It's been really, really hard. But now this has been I've been elated because
That's the question.
I thought that it was going for the longest time. But to walk in there today and see 9 of the doctors that I planted the seeds, that I was in their face watering 2 of them, they're cracking up because they threw me out in the offices twice, are here right now and they're going to get certified. So, all that of the labor, seeing it as it's actually happening, has been nothing short of a miracle.
That's awesome.
And to top it all off, because I have a passion for what I do when it comes to remediation. But my real passion was to create a safe place and doctors that were certified specifically under the Shoemaker protocol, because there's doctors in functional medicine where I'm happy to see somebody go, to the right place. At least they're not in mainstream medicine treating symptoms and so on and so forth. But for me, it was just it was just a mission to be able to uncover the needs of people that were in the dark. Okay, and then I kind of became really good at just having them open up. And once they opened up, then I was able to kind of reel them in, and then I needed a place to send to them, to send them. So it was almost like being a conduit of getting the patients that were in the dark, waking them up, after waking up the doctors and removing the scales off their eyes, and then just being a traffic director. That's pretty much how I did my thing.
That's awesome. That's so cool to hear, for sure. And aside from attending the event, you're obviously presenting. That's I was super excited once I read the title of your presentation, specifically "I Dream of Teaming, Not Competing." So that's what prompted me to reach out to you, because I love that message.
Absolutely.
I know you're going to be presenting some really exciting stuff that you're going to hold back on, but can you at least give us a little tidbit or
Absolutely.
preview?
You knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, but you know what? It came right before the interview, like you showed me right there. So it was kind of like, I think it's good to see, and it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
And I think the analogy I gave you, Brandon, was right. I mean, if anybody remembers the movie Terminator 2, the cop that melts away into lithium, I think it's lithium or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he puts himself back together.
Yeah.
Right? And I see this happening with this conference where I've been going to conferences for 5 years, 6 years, and never anything where it's coming together and forming just in front of you.
Yeah.
So I think, a lot of people have said things that we're looking at, and we're all trying to reimplant the wheel, but the way I look at it is that you've got your wheel, I've got, somebody else may have a wheel, a steering wheel, and the race car or the machine, whatever it is, this mean machine, right? It's putting itself together. And I like to think that I'm bringing, I don't know, a carburetor, maybe the engine.
Something that makes it go, right?
But something that's going to make it go, pedal to the metal, to the goal where we really need to go, which is really all about the patient.
Exactly. That's the thing. We got to put them at the middle, and us in all our, we need to combine our expertise and build that machine, like you said. And at the end of the day, it's putting that patient in the middle of that. It's then we can get them to the finish line as fast as possible. And it takes all of us. It takes the doctors who are learning, like you said, and you've been bringing along. It takes people like us doing testing and identifying where the issues are. And then at the end of the day, we got to get rid of it. We need to do that removal, which I know you guys do a lot of that for sure on the remediation end. So,
not only do we do that, but one of the things that I became passionate about is because there's great IEPs out there, there's great remediators, but I see a piece of one of the small pieces I really want to sound about.
Yeah.
So one of the smaller pieces of the puzzle is that we need to be able to identify like the sources, right? All of them, not just the few that the IEP is pointing out. So the thing is that even if we identify the sources and we fix the problem, nobody really follows up with the patient or the client to make sure that window was sealed.
Yeah.
That those cracks on the stucco were fixed. I mean, that should be part of a checklist.
Yeah,
and
the preventative maintenance stuff.
I give you a big one.
Yeah. The preventative maintenance stuff, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's all very important.
And a lot of people have said different things that, on some point of my notes or even my rough notes or whatever, and like one of the attorneys I showed, look, did you say, isn't this what you just said in your presentation? It takes a village, and I see it in your presentation, and so that's how I see everything coming together.
Yeah, absolutely. That's super cool stuff for sure.
Yes. And you got a whole conference room in here filled with people who are just asking the right questions.
Yeah.
They're not the same questions. They're different questions.
Absolutely.
They're new questions because we're facing new things, right? So the small group that starts this, it all starts with a question. Why is this happening, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it all starts.
Absolutely.
And, the doctors and Shoemaker, we're asking those questions in the very beginning. And then now we're here. Oh, we figured out that this is what's causing it. Oh, now we have to ask different questions on our side.
Yeah,
absolutely. Right? It's a learning process. Yeah. It's an ongoing, school of hard knocks because, you guys are in the trenches like I am. Yeah. And when you have the two different sides of the field, because I'm an IEP as well.
Yeah.
And I have, I'm giving away IEP work. I'm giving away water restoration, and you can't be in this industry. You got to hone it and you got to polish the trade and the craft, because you can't be, when it comes to an attorney, you can't be an ambulance chaser and be a judge.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't be a fire truck chaser and be a medically sound remediator either.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
Right.
And there's a lot of them out there, unfortunately.
I don't even know the code.
Even here in Florida. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, lots going on. I mean, would you say, do you have like a top 3 takeaway from the event, or things you're keeping your eyes on, or anything specifically you want to talk about?
I just I think that the teaming concept it's proven through the trials on a small scale, but now that we're taking all these pieces of the puzzle and this formation, this animal that's beast that's forming, I just think that we're all going to be able to bounce off each other's, and I think that would be the number one take that I'm saying, is that we're all going to be able to help each other. It's not we're not competing, which is a title. We're not competing against each other.
Yeah.
We're using all of our resources, all of our knowledge, everything that we've learned, the science, and we're bringing other things into the equation. You know, we're bringing philosophy, we're bringing theory, things that never been, you know, thought of before, but are absolutely necessary to be in that one place to be able to identify what needs to be identified.
Yeah, definitely. That's how you push it. It's that questioning. It's that honing, like you said, the polishing.
Yes.
It's all that combined.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, great. Thanks for joining us. On our podcast. It's been awesome. Having good stuff. You know, this place is packed with industry leaders, just innovating new ideas and asking all the right questions and being open to having that conversation.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, has not been a part of this industry for a long period of time, but we're glad it's here.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure meeting you guys.
Absolutely. Looking forward to your speech tomorrow. That's going to be, you know, part of this whole CIRSx, you know, thing. So another just super informative speech coming from you. All this, just a great learning experience. You know, glad to be a part of it with you all.
I'm excited. I'm elated. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like floating right now.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's been a great event so far.
Yep.
Yeah. Looking forward to tomorrow. I know, sorry to tell you guys, no more of us today. Tune back in tomorrow. Check the schedule because I'm going to mess the time up again. Maybe Brandon knows, but everybody take care, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Take care, guys. Thank you for everything.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining me today for this episode of the Secret Life of Mold podcast.
Maybe we're supposed to say something
If you need help with mold
could
issues
be
in
here
your
all
home
day.
or office, we'd love to help.
Yeah.
For our Texas location, please call 888-335-MOLD.
It's on.
That's
It says recording, so it's on the left-hand corner.
888-335-6653. Or email contact@moldtx.com. For our locations other than Texas, reach out to our customer care team at 800-619-MOLD. That's 800-619-MOLD.